Hey, what's up guys? It's Steve with ChemSource Direct. Today we are going to talk about troubleshooting on the Noble SpeedScrub 300. So let's get into it. Alright guys, one of the first things that you may encounter when running the SpeedScrub 300 for a problem is no power. You come up to the unit, you turn the key on, nothing happens. No lights come on. So the first thing that you're going to want to check is make sure that you turned that key all the way to the right. If it's in a little bit of a, you get nothing. You got to make sure it's all the way to the right. So the next thing, if you've turned the key on, you got no power, the next thing that you're going to want to check is make sure that the batteries are charged. And the only way that you can really do that is you're going to need to take the machine back near a 110 outlet, use the charging cable provided, plug it in, and wait for the built-in charger to come on. It's got a fan on it, it'll start running, you'll hear it. It'll be really obvious that it's charging, and then leave it on 4 or 5 hours, get a charge on the battery, and then you should be good to go. If you do all of that and you still have nothing, you're gonna need to call for service. There's other internals inside, the battery connections, there's different things. A lot of times when you start messing with that, you can cause more harm than good. So it's always best that if you can't get the machine to come on after trying the two things that we've mentioned, just call for service. And another problem that you may encounter when you're running the Noble SpeedScrub 300 is it's not putting down water. So we're gonna start with the obvious things. Maybe it's empty, and it's a real easy thing to do to figure that out. In the sight tube right here, it'll show you where the water level is in this tank. So if you're not seeing water, you can move the machine around a little bit. If you don't see any water moving around in this tube, then there's a good chance that you're out of chemical. So again, just go back to the front of the machine, fill it up, make sure that you have your solution to work with. One of the other things that could be causing that is as chemical and stuff sits in this machine, some of the deposits, mineral deposits that are in the soaps, the lipidors can sit down into the float bowl and actually clog your filter. There is a filter located right under the machine in the middle here. And you're gonna need to take that filter off and clean it. And I'll show you a demonstration on that right now. Okay, so the filter is right there. I'm tapping my finger on it right now. So what you're gonna wanna do is unscrew it. Water may drain out of it a little bit while you're unscrewing it, and that's okay. We can pick that up with the squeegee. So if you look inside of that filter, if you see any debris or anything inside of that, you're gonna need to wash that out with warm water and then put it right back up into the hole and screw it in clockwise. Careful not to cross thread it. Okay, so after you've refilled the machine back up with water, you've cleaned out your float bowl, if you're still not getting water down, it could be something internal that you're going to need to get service for. So unfortunately, that's really all that you can do with the machine to make sure that you're putting your water down. So just again, if you've done all the aforementioned things, just reach out to us or reach out to a service provider and let your machine get looked at. All right, something else that you may encounter with the SpeedScrub 300 is that it's not picking up water. That can only be a few things. Number one is the vacuum coming on? You'll know if the vacuum motor is coming on just by that noise. If you hear that noise, that means that your vac motor is working. If you're still not picking up water, then there's a couple things you can check. Check the hose here. Make sure that this lid is tight. If this lid is not tight, then air is gonna leak through it and it's gonna take away all of your suction here. Something else that you're gonna wanna look at is if you're still not getting anything picking up, or if it's not picking up well, make sure that your squeegee is making good contact with the floor from end to end. Also make sure that your hose is not clogged, and you can take the little debris tray off of the squeegee and make sure that this is not full. So if your vac motor is coming on and those things still aren't working, make sure that your lid is closed. If the vac motor is not coming on, there's a couple of things here that you're going to want to check. Make sure that your debris tray is not full, because if this fills up, it will shut your vac motor off. Also, you have a float system in here that keeps the tank from overfilling. These little ping pong ball floats will float up into the top, into this, and stop the suction. This also shuts your vac motor off. So make sure the tank is empty. Make sure that one of these balls is not stuck up into this hole. Outside of that, if you're not getting suction, then you're gonna need to call for service. This has been a troubleshooting video for the SpeedScrub 300. I'm Steve with ChemSource Direct. Thanks a lot. We'll see you soon.